And then tying this all together into impacts on our local economy. A concept that everybody needs to remember is the concept of multipliers. You know, if you take $1 out of the economy, or actually if you put $1 into the economy, it's got a greater impact typically than a 1-for-1. So a multiplier is calculated as the total impact divided by the direct impact. And so just for reference, you know, for a sawmill, the multiplier, the income multiplier is 2.11, and for a winery it's 193. So, and you need to remember that these things work, and you know they compound effects going forward and going backwards. You know, so if you're losing income into an economy, it's not dollar for dollar; it can be exponentially greater. Another issue that we've got affecting us is what's called the wealth effect. And so for every $100 reduction in housing values, it's been calculated that it reduces annual retail spending by $6. So again, when you think back to the nosedive in the housing prices, you're again shrinking the economic base in effect. And so, speaking of shrinking the economic base, you know, one of the things that you hear oftentimes is people debate, you know, whether we want growth or no growth, but what people don't realize is we're losing ground, you know, pretty dramatically. So we've got sawmill closures. You know, today the Harwood mill is being auctioned in Willits, liquidated, and I don't believe that you know that mill will reopen in any capacity. I believe it's going to be liquidated and destroyed. We've got declining timber sales in large part because of our lack of local mills. There's a lot of Doug fir logs that don't make economic sense for people to harvest and drive, you know, hours to market. So we're getting hurt there. We've got drastically decreased commercial fishing opportunities and the seafood production that goes along with that. The declining school enrollment that I sort of pointed out. We've got the probable loss of trucking businesses due to the new, I think it's called CARB, the air quality regulations. So and reduced state and federal government spending just because of the budget issues. So we're really getting assaulted from all sides. And I wish that this was sort of a rosy thing where I could click the slide and show you how we're going to fix it. I'll click the slide and show you what we can do about it. But there's really there is no fix. We're getting hit pretty hard. In summary, the economic growth, you achieve it through developing economic-based industries. Okay, so focusing on industries where local production of inputs is feasible generates the greatest impact on local income and employment. An additional focus should be on complementary industries and clusters where products and services are used together. And some final thoughts on this is, you know, we really, now more than ever, we need to leverage state and federal dollars wherever possible. We need to emphasize utilization of local goods and services. You know, that's really important to reduce leakage out of, you know, when we don't have much coming into the bucket, we really have to be mindful of what's coming out of it. We need to encourage and promote tourism and foster and encourage business and develop infrastructure. So that's the end of my presentation. Like I said, there's no real rosy end on it, but that's where we're at. We're shrinking. Any questions?
Well, just actually more like a couple of comments. First of all, this is not a good day for me to be talking about economic development when in my district we just lost the largest private employer, and the one assessed parcel one we've lost over $25 million of assessed valuation on one piece of property. And then I just got a copy of this talking about these new air quality regulations that the state is proposing or actually going to put in place. In this county alone, the survey says that 39% of our truck owners will downsize, but 47% say they will go out of business. That's yet to happen. A year ago, the Mendocino Office of Education put out this, said that we have a drastic decline in enrollment. That was a year ago. I don't think that, you know, I mean, if we was, all of us here for a performance evaluation on how we worked on our economy, we'd all be laid off today. And there's no doubt about that. So I just wanted to bring up those points, but yet, you know, the state, one thing I think, Steve, that in the leaky part of your bucket that you left out was the leakage that we have from gas, oil, natural gas, and diesel, you know, and electricity. Think of how much money leaves this county every month from your gasoline, your diesel sales, paying your electricity bills, and even your utility bills. Those are all out of area companies that provide that. Just that leakage, to keep up with that leakage alone is tremendous. And frankly, we're not keeping up with it, you know. But yet, still here in this country, you know, we're getting our gravel from Canada and getting our wood products from Canada, and then we wonder why we're going broke. So until some basic fundamental changes happen, not only in this county, but in the state of California, I don't know where, I don't know how far those lines can go down. Our federal government says we're not even in a recession yet. You know, I mean, so would you believe any government statistic beyond that? But it's some things have to change in this county. And a lot of that starts with land use decisions and how we process people doing things. But I've heard it so much in the last 10 years about we have to stop, we got to slow up growth in this county. Y'all seen the fact. That's not me saying it, that's just saying what's going on. We're in a dive. You know, we used to think we were doing pretty good at 2% growth in this county. Now we're going to the other way. I mean, we're not a boom area, never have been, but there's this attitude out there that we can't